All right. I think we about live, but just to make sure, let's get this audio good. Let's get this situated. Um, we should be getting there. Let me refresh this just to be on the safe side here now. Because I know how YouTube do me sometimes, you know what I mean? Just making sure we got audio, that's all. I know video is good. Making sure we got audio. Just making sure we got audio, that's all. We do. All right, beautiful is good. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, hey, greetings to you, brother T God. Okay. What's up, family? What's up, man? We about to get this in. We about to get this in right now. Greetings. All right. We got some beautiful information today, man. You know, we got another great build. Today we going in overtime today because after this, you know, at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we got to get ready for the matriarch build. All right. So once again, email is in the link below. Any of the matriarchs that want to get on the build this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern time, please send me an email. Let me know that you want to get on. Okay. We're not going to go into anything specific. Well, maybe and maybe not. We're going to go with the flow. All right. But basically, we're going to be talking about, you know, setting an example and how our matriarchs, especially those who are in tune with who we are, you know, vibrating on a different frequency, what needs to be done, you know, to make an impact and to reach our younger sisters, you know what I'm saying, that are just out here, you know, with no direction. Yes, they have parents, they have mothers in their lives, but for some reason, it doesn't seem that way. Okay, and I'm not here to blame anybody, but I'm just here to point out the facts. All right, we have to do a better job with our young girls and our young brothers. You feel me? So that's what the build is going to be about. Also, what I want to incorporate, I want to pick a day as well where even if most of the times I'm hosting, you know, the live, I want to be able to open up the platform to brothers as well, so we could open up the platform to brothers where we could have the brothers building. All right, so we'll have every Sunday, like I said, we're gonna have the matriarch build, whether it's with me or Brother Crumb. If we can't do it on his platform, then you know we'll do it on our platform here. So we'll make that happen, and then we're gonna pick a day where the brothers could build as well. All right, so that's what we're gonna be doing, and then we'll pick a day where the brothers and sisters all come together and build. So that's the plan. That's the way I want to rock this. Okay. We have a lot of information to go over in this build. As you could see, the name of the title is Diving Deeper. And some of you may be familiar with the information, but there are actually a lot of people who don't know and are still seeking, and they're still caught up in the mindset or the paradigm of thinking that they are actually slaves from another continent who came here on this mysterious ship. Okay, so just debunking a lot of these lies that were told in his story and putting a perspective more on our story. All right. Before we get into the lecture or the build, I would like to do a rendition of the quote unquote Lord's Prayer, just to give thanks to those on high, you know, give thanks to the Most High. So if I may, allow me to do this, okay? Our spiritual parents who art in heaven, honored be thy names. So as above, so is below. Give us this day our daily nutrients. Hold us responsible for our bad intentions towards those who have done us no wrong. We do not forgive those who have bad intentions against us. We ask that the universe deal with them and all their generations to come, and lead us not into carnal or harmful temptations, and deliver us from the hands of your enemies, the evil ones, the wrongdoers, and the colonizers. For thine is your empire on earth and in heaven. The power and the glory is yours forever and ever. Amen Ra. Long live the light of the world. Okay, so that is my rendition of that prayer that they gave us. I just felt it needed some work, and I took the liberty to to do that. All right. I hope everybody's having a great day. You know, thus far the sun is out. It's definitely a beautiful day. I just came from having a build with a brother and a sister, man, and I'm always on the go, man, putting in that work nonstop. All right, because we have so much catching up to do. Literally, I feel like taking tomatoes and squish them together and make ketchup. But that is a joke. I'm not a comedian, so if you guys don't laugh, it's okay, all right? But yeah, we have a lot of work to do, man, and we have a lot of catching up to do. So I'm constantly on the grind, whether it may be on here, in the streets, reaching out to different people across the country, and making this thing happen. All right. Don't forget you have the super chat. Support the super chat. Also in the link. Everything I'm going to talk about today, I am able to share the screen today. Okay. So anything that I'm sharing in the build today, it's actually in the link below. Also, I have a Cash App. If you feel like you want to support the channel, or you want to support the work that I'm doing, then by all means feel free to support. So the premise of this build again is debunking a lot of the lies that were told. Not here to convince anybody, but here to drop a lot of the information to you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a video. All right. Well, you know what? I'm thinking if I should do the boule first, or should I go into the whole debunking the whole slavery narrative? Let me see. What should I do first? What should I do first? All right. I'm gonna start off with with information that's debunking the whole slavery narrative. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna share my screen and let us get into this build. I hope everybody's ready. If everybody's ready, man, let's get some likes on the video. All right. Let's get some people up. Okay, cool. Latrice said, you know what? Sister Latrice said, let's debunk first. So we're gonna debunk first. That's what we're gonna do. All right, let's put an end to the lies. Okay. So can we get some likes on the videos, some love on the videos? And do me a favor, take the link and post it on your Facebook, post it on your Instagram, post it wherever you got to, so we could get this message out there. All right, that's what it's about. All right, letting our people see a different perspective from what was told, from all the lies in his story. That is the whole point of all this. Okay, so share the information, man. Share the information, put it out there, blast it all over the place. That's what we're gonna do. And big up to all the Aborigines, man, across the entire American continent. I'm talking about North, South, and Central America, the entire Turtle Island. All right, big up to all the Caribbean massive. Much respect to the Trini Posse, much respect to the Grenadian, St. Vincent, Dominican, Jamaican, you know what I mean, Antigua and St. Lucian. All right, big up to all the West Indian crew, you feel me? So with that being said, man, we are all one people. We are just people with different languages. That's why a lot of us have different accents, because we spoke different languages. All right, so let us not allow these people to take us away from who we are. You feel me? Yes, Chief Warrior, I got your email, so I'm definitely gonna send you the information for the matriarch build later. All right. We're doing a matriarch build at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So any of the matriarchs that's on here right now or happen to see this video before 7, please do me a favor and send me an email so I could get you on, so you could build with the rest of the family. You feel me? All right. Okay, cool. Let's go. All right, so we're gonna start with that. We're gonna start with debunking some of those lies. Now, I have shown y'all videos, okay, where even on the History Channel, and again, it is what it is, all right, that the Aboriginal people were of our complexion, and I've shown that before. So let me see if I could find that information again, which I have something else from the History Channel. But I'm gonna just find something else just to kind of support that. So if you guys don't mind, just build in the chat room for a second, and let me just pull up this one more document, which I actually thought about it, but I just didn't follow up on the thought. Okay, so give me a second here. All right, History Channel, the American, I know the History Channel, the Native Americans were dark skinned. Let me see if that's gonna come up. All right, Native American. When okay, they were slaughtered in the name. Okay, let me see if that's gonna come up. Their skin and the languages. Okay, now I've shown this before. However, for the purpose of this build, I'm gonna show it again because repetition is the key. That's what they do. They stick to they come up with a lie, and then they stick to that narrative, and that's what they teach all over the place. All right, so we have to debunk those lies with information, even if sometimes the information may be redundant or repetitive. Okay, we have to continuously bring that information so it remains fresh in the minds of the people. It's imperative that we forget almost everything that they taught us, all right? Or pick what is true and factual out of his story, and in the midst we could find our story, okay? So there we go, beautiful. So let's start with this. We're gonna start right here from the beginning. Let me share my screen. I know everybody's ready to rock and roll, so let's do this. Share my screen, okay? Now, the first slide that I'm showing you guys, let me just sit on the floor here. Let me just make sure that actually making sure that the screen, because right now I can't see if you're seeing what I'm seeing. So let me see. Make sure that you okay, good. All right, beautiful. Just wanted to pull that up on my phone so we could be on the same page. All right. Good, good, good. Here we go. Okay. So I hope you guys can see the screen that I'm showing right now. All right, I'm on the floor. I'm making myself comfortable, and we're gonna make this thing happen. All right. So now this first slide is from an excerpt from, or an article from March 2nd, 2018, and it's from the History Channel. Okay, and it says, when Native Americans were slaughtered in the name of civilization. Right here, it says what? Their skin was dark. Now, brothers and sisters, okay, we have to, this word dark, we have to take that and put that in perspective. Because for those of you who have actually listened to the conversation I had with that pale face from the Cherokee Nation, okay, they love playing the word play. They do the same thing that the colonizers are doing, the play on words. And that's what they're always saying. Well, yes, they were dark skinned, but they were not black. But at the end of the day, we don't call ourselves black. You see, they get the majority of so-called African Americans to call themselves black, where they could adapt the term dark skin, which doesn't, in their eyes, doesn't equate to the word black. They associate the word black with Africans. And once again, I don't want people to think I'm talking bad about Africans. I'm not doing that. I ain't got nothing against Africans. I'm just putting our story in perspective. All right? That's what I'm doing. Okay? Now, with that being said, their skin was dark. And when you listened to that man from the conversation with the Cherokee Nation, he said what? My grandmother was dark. And if she were to perm her hair, she would look like one of the black people in Alabama. Well, you just gave yourself out. If your mother could pass for so-called black, if she permed her hair, what does that mean? That means she was a dark-skinned woman. So don't get tricked with the word dark when they tell us, oh, well, yes, they were all dark and we are them, but you are not them because you are black. Obviously, we are not black. And how is that you could consider yourself to be black, but you look more like the colonizer than I do? All right. So at the ending of the day, brothers and sisters, do not get tricked when that word dark is being used and they want to tell you, no, that doesn't apply to you. It applies to us. Even if we look like the pale man, okay, you should call yourself black. So I just wanted to point that out and make sure we get that. All right, here we go. Their skin was dark. Their languages were foreign. Just to reiterate, we had many, many languages, and their worldviews and spiritual beliefs. We had a spiritual belief system. Okay, every clan, we had families, we had clans, and well, we had family, we had clans, we had bands, and then we had nations. You feel me? So every family belonged to a clan. They came together, and some of them had different languages. Okay, they had different languages. So we have different spiritual beliefs. Not everybody believed in the same thing. Okay, just so you know. And it says what? Their beliefs were beyond most white men's comprehension. In other words, they couldn't comprehend the level of spirituality we had. Okay? Now, once again, black for whoever that individual is, okay, Mikey G13, if you're here in peace and love, it's all good. But on this platform, we don't identify ourselves as black people, okay? Black is a beautiful color. I love black clothes. I love black cars. But obviously, you could see I'm not black. So if you're here to push the narrative of us being black because black is beautiful, then you're on the wrong platform, just to let you know that. All right, we are not trying to deal with the distractions today. This is a class where we're teaching our people information. All right, and I'm just dropping facts. Yes, black is beautiful. I love black cars. I love black clothes. All right, but I'm not black. All right, so let's just get that straight. Okay, so that's from the History Channel, and I'm just gonna read a little bit of the first verse. I mean, not yeah, forgive me, first verse, first chapter. Okay, or the first paragraph. Okay, the link is below, so you guys could read the entire article on your own. All right, on a cool day, on a cool May day in 1758, a 10-year-old girl with red hair and freckles was carrying her neighbor's children in rural western Pennsylvania. In a few moments, Mary Campbell's life changed forever when Delaware Indians kidnapped her and absorbed her into their community for the next 6 years. She became the first of some 200 known cases of white captives, many of whom became pawns in an ongoing power struggle that included European powers. When I hear the word pawns, it reminds me of, the game of chess. But anyway, maybe it has no relation, but who knows? I'm always thinking outside the box, right? And to capture your queen, you see, when you could capture the king and not have all the power, but you have to capture the queen. So the chess game is definitely a matriarchal concept, showing that the power is in the queen. You see what I'm saying? Because again, when we came here, we had a matriarchal system. So their goal was to take the queen. Okay? So keep that in mind. I'm showing y'all the relation, all right, with these games that these people played. You feel me? All right? It says, in an ongoing power struggle that included European powers, including colonists and indigenous peoples straining to maintain their population, their land, and the way of life. While Mary was ultimately returned to her white family, and some evidence points to her having lived happily with her adopted Indian tribe, and stories such as hers became a cautionary tale among white settlers, stoking fear of savage Indians and creating a paranoia that escalated into all-out Indian hating. Now, it clearly tells you in the story that Mary Campbell, which is a young Caucasian woman that got taken into an Indian tribe for 6 years. She was treated with the utmost humility, love and hospitality. But they went and spread rumors, okay, saying that the savages ill-treated the young women and others, okay, some of the 200 women or people that lived amongst the Indians. And so it created a paranoia and escalated an all-out hating towards the Indians. So again, it's propaganda. And that's the same thing that they are doing today. Aren't they spreading propaganda, about the so-called black man, the so-called black woman, the so-called African American? Aren't they doing the same thing? Spreading propaganda so the world could look at us as savages, as animals? My brothers and sisters, there is nothing new under the sun. Okay? Nothing new under the sun. All right? So just to let you know, it is the same narrative. They are just changing the characters. It is the same script. They are just changing the actors. All right? Now, if you look at the picture, you could clearly see all the way to the right where my cursor is at. This is the young Caucasian Mary Campbell. Now, look at the complexion of the Indians. Those are the copper-colored races. What they describe in the Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary. Now, I don't see any so-called native looking like this. Okay, they more look like the Caucasian woman on the right. So how can you say that you are dark-skinned and we are black, but yet still you look Caucasian? That just doesn't make sense to me. And anybody with any type of sense would start questioning these things. Okay? So, yes, part of my goal is to educate our people, but part of that is also to expose the lies. And they're always telling us, oh, y'all are culture vultures and y'all are, taking our identity. And no, you are taking our identity. You have taken our identity. You have hijacked our cultures. And we are not going to stand for that anymore. We're not going to do it anymore. So we're going to expose your lies. And we're going to bring you before the international courts and let you prove that you're an Aboriginal. Because pretty much almost every document that I've done extensive research points that we are the Aboriginal people of the Americas. As a matter of fact, we're the Aboriginal people of the entire planet. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. That's in the link. Well, this one in particular is not in the link below. I'll add that later, but the rest is actually in the link below. All right, let us go to this link right here. Also, this is it says originalpeople.org. First Americans were black Aborigines. Now, just for the purpose of this article, they use the word black. Okay. Once again, my disclaimer: I do not subscribe to being black, but that's what they have in this documentary or this article. Okay. It says, first Americans were black according to BBC documentary. So now we just came from the History Channel. Okay, the History Channel spoke and told you that the original people, the Aboriginal people, the first Native Americans were dark-skinned. And we just saw a picture of what they look like. As a matter of fact, they look just like my ancestors. Okay, now here's something on BBC, another source. It says BBC documentary, Ancient Voices Tracking the First Americans. Now, this is what it says. This is quite interesting. Okay, it is quite interesting, and I'm happy I came across this bill right here. All right, and some of the information that I'm sharing with you today, especially when it comes to slavery and the whole thing in Africa. Okay, I'm giving thanks to Brother Amos for sending me that information via email. The brother we had on the build last night. Okay, so thank you in advance for that. All right, but it says, and that was Thursday, August 26, 1999, published at 15:39, which is 3:39 p.m. GMT, 16:39 UK time. The first Americans were descended from Australian Aborigines, according to evidence in a new BBC documentary. Now, let us pause here for a second. It is a fact that the original American Aborigines were dark-skinned. But you see, they always have to throw a twist in there. Okay? They always have to throw a twist in there. Because Aboriginal Australians, they say that they actually migrated from Africa 60,000 years ago. But Australian Aborigines, they don't subscribe to that theory. They think that they have always been where they were or where they are. You feel me? But they're saying that we are descendants of Australian Aborigines. I say, this is what I'm saying, based on all my research that I've done, we are related to them, but we are not descended from them. Okay? It is more likely that they are of us than we are of them. Okay? That is more, to me, that make more sense, because that's what resonates with my spirit. Maybe I'm being biased because of all the lies that has been told. Okay? But I'm not going to take anything from our cousins, okay, our relatives, the Australian Aboriginals, because they are our people as well. We are related. We are family. So with that being said, they know that they are Australian Aborigines, and I'm going to respect that. They have every right to say that. However, when it comes to us on the American continent, what do they do? What do they do? They admit that the people here were dark-skinned, yes, but they always have to make sure that we are descended from somewhere else or from somebody else. Instead of just saying, telling the truth, you know what? These people have always been here. We have no idea where they came from. And well, Chief, how can you prove that? Well, it's written in their stones. When I was in Memphis, when I went to the DeSoto Park and I looked at the Chickasaw Heritage Landmark, when I read the, that little mantle that they had, it says what? The people are of ancient times, of unknown antiquity. You see, so do you know what it means? An unknown antiquity. Okay? Now, let us just put that in context. Let us go look at a few definitions of words. Because for me, it's not just about talking, but it's also about showing. So let us go look at the definition. Definition of ancient. Ancient definition. What does it say? It says, belonging to a very distant past and no longer in existence. It also says the ancient civilizations of Mediterranean. It says first, and synonyms are first, early, former, bygone, and more, an old person. All right. So here we go. Ancient. Let us go look at the definition of antiquity. Definition of antiquity. The ancient past, especially the period before the Middle Ages. All right. So if antiquity, is synonymous with, a very, very long period. Okay. Certain words, synonyms are ancient past, classical times, former times, distant past, and they make an association with the Middle Ages. That means that's how long we have been here. At least we could go that far. So now when we go back to the Chickasaw Heritage Landmark in Memphis, the one I showed y'all the video, and it says that these people are of ancient, and it says what? Unknown antiquity. So it wasn't just ancient antiquity, it says unknown. Let us go look at the definition of unknown, because for sometimes, people read, but they don't know how to comprehend what they read. And I'm not throwing stone at anybody. I'm just making sure the things that I explain, that a 2-year-old will be able to look at this and say, you know what? I'm not going to believe the lies, because they lie very much. All right. What is that? Unknown. And if y'all want to make, remember the video that I spoke about, go look at the video of when I was in Memphis and I showed the Chickasaw landmark. And on the stones, it says what? The people of this land, okay, they are of unknown antiquity. Unknown. What does unknown means? Unknown means not known or familiar. Not known or familiar. Undisclosed, unrevealed, untold, unspecified, secret. That's why we are a secret. What again? Mysterious, mysterious, hidden, concealed. So therefore, they knew nothing of us. So if you don't know where we came from, how can you assume that we came from Africa? How can you assume that we are the descendants of Australian Aborigines? Not that there's anything wrong with that if that were the case. Why not give us our due respect and speak the truth that we have always been here from time immemorial? Hmm? So, brothers and sisters, we are putting some of these things in perspective. Let us go back to this article. It says, the skulls suggest faces like those of Australian Aborigines. That is because we are related. We didn't descend from them, but we are related. The program, Ancient Voices, shows that the dimensions of the prehistoric skulls found in Brazil match those of the Aboriginal peoples of Australia and Melanesia. Other evidence suggests that these first Americans were later massacred by the invaders of Asia. So you are telling me that all the first Americans were massacred by the invaders of Asia. Now, we have to keep this in perspective. Okay? When people think of Asia or Asians, people think of this Chinese-looking people. Well, guess what? Tash Tariq Bey says what? We are all Asiatics, right? Well, Brother Tash Tariq Bey, I'm not an Asiatic. Okay, Moors claim to be Asiatics. So what are they telling you? Asians came and massacred the American Indians. Let's put that in perspective. Okay, I'm here to drop them bombs today. Okay, I'm here to drop the bombs. The question is, what type of Asians came here? It wasn't the Chinese looking ones that came here to destroy us. No. No. It was the Moors who called themselves Asiatics. And now that I'm able to share my screen today, we're going to get into some of these things. And I'm not picking on them. I'm just telling the truth. All right. So once again, we have debunked that story, okay, of we descended from Africans. And I'm questioning the fact that we descended from Australian Aborigines. All right. Let us go to the next slide or the next website, whatever, we may call that. All right. Let us go to Ghana's Museum on Slave Trade, Irk U.S. Blacks. Once again, we are using that word black very lightly. Okay. We are using that word black very lightly. Okay. Let us read. And that is from www.csmonitor.com/1995. All that is in the link below. So you're able to do your independent research. Okay. Now it says, let me just make this a little bigger so you guys can see this. All right. It says, December 22nd, 1995, by Judith Matloff, staff writer of the Christian Science Monitor, Cape Coast, Ghana. It reads, when African Americans, they're talking about us, visit the sweltering slave dungeons in Ghana's coastal castles seeking their roots, many of them complain. Where's the horror of it all, they ask. Now, brothers and sisters, I'm going to show you today that all these things were lie. It wasn't true. It was all made up. Okay? It was made up. You feel me? Okay? Y'all got to realize that. All right, let's read this again. When African Americans visit the sweltering slave dungeons in Ghana's coastal castles, seeking their roots, many of them complain. Where's the horror of it all, they ask. What really bothers the American visitors is that these dungeons where their ancestors were manacled and starved, now smell Disney clean and spot gift shops, smiling guides, tell little of the ghostly history that went on inside the castle walls. Ghana has turned the dark cells into monuments of 400 years of slave trade, but US blacks visitors often regard the restoration done to earn money from tourists as a whitewash of a black Holocaust. Now, Ghanaian authorities began to restore the castles in 1991 with 4.1 million from the Smithsonian Institution, U.S. Agency for International Development, and the UN. 2 castles were declared as World Heritage Sites by UNESCO in 1991. Now, Chief, pause here for a second. Brothers and sisters, right? When so-called African Americans and so-called black people go to Ghana in search of those places where their so-called ancestors came from, they are met with areas that is so sparkly clean. It looked like Disney. All right. So because they were complaining, because you see, oh, people want to be they want to be from Africa so bad, because they were complaining. Now, guess what? The Smithsonian Institute stepped in and spent $4.1 million. Well, let me ask you a question. Why did the institute, why did the Smithsonian Institute have to step in? Why didn't the Ghanaian government took care of that, seeing that it was their ancestors that were taken, it was their people that was taken? Why didn't the Ghanaian government spend the money to do it? Why was it the Smithsonian Institute, the same institute that's hiding all our artifacts in their basements, okay? And if they actually show the truth, they will lose their funding from these world bankers, from all these private investors. I don't think y'all heard me. I don't think y'all heard me, though. I'm going to drink some water on that while I let this sink in, because if y'all hearing me, I would like to, you know, let me get a number 1 in the chat if you guys are actually hearing me. Okay? I know you're listening, but if you're hearing what I'm saying, I want you to type 1. Type 1 in the chat. Because you see, this is very important. This is very important. And I'll tell you why it's important. You feel me? It's important because we have to know what the part that the Smithsonian Institute is playing in covering our history, okay? And the Smithsonian Museum, okay, based on research, has openly admitted that they cannot show what's in their basement, because if they do, they will lose their private funding. You feel me? So therefore, the Ghanaian government, based on research, are working with, okay, the Smithsonian Institute. They're working with the African diaspora movement. They're working with the colonization association to create this fictitious, okay, slavery port in Ghana, so that they could start telling our people they came from slaves in Ghana. Brothers and sisters, don't fall for the trick. Don't fall for the trick. I'm going to read that again. Ghanaian authorities began to restore the castles. Restore the castles. Guess what? It never existed. Because there is no way millions of your people was taken, okay, from Africa, and you are able to use that against the colonizers. But you're going to turn it into what? Disneyland? And then you're going to, in 1991, you're going to restore it? No, it wasn't there in the first place. It wasn't there in the first place. And guess who's funding it? The Smithsonian Institute? The same one that's hiding all our artifacts in their basements? No, that's unsuspect to me. Anyway, let's read a little more. The visitors' book of the museum at this castle is spiked with criticisms of American blacks. You hear that? Brothers and sisters, I want you to digest what we are reading here today. It says what? The visitors' book of the museum at this castle is spiked with criticisms from the American blacks. They are criticizing us. Now, let me ask you a question, right? The visitor's book, shouldn't that book be depicting, the sympathy, the empathy, the appreciation for your brothers and sisters who were taken on slave ships, supposedly, okay, in all these horrific conditions? Millions of them were taken. Why are you criticizing us in your visitor's book? You know why? Because they know it's not true. They know we are not Africans. But our people are just dying to be Africans. When Africans are laughing at you in such a supposed historical site, right? In the visitor's book, where it should be nothing but love and prayers, and our heart goes out to our brothers and sisters that was taken from our land. What they do? In the museum, it is spiked with criticisms. Maybe it's just me, or I'm missing something. Okay? Valerie Taylor from New York, for instance, was indignant that the brutality was not better conveyed. Okay? Of course, she's going to be upset. She's going to be perturbed. Why? Because it wasn't true. So how can you portray something that was so spiritual? You cannot bring it back into a reality because it's a spiritual thing. It wasn't true. So they cannot recreate the event. They are not such great actors. Okay? This particular guide regarding my ancestry should not be as carefree. Of course, they're going to be carefree because it wasn't true. She said, to me, this is an emotional experience and should be presented as such, not just an explanation without feelings. Well, my sister, the reason why it wasn't emotional to them without an explanation of feelings is because it wasn't true. Okay? There is no sympathy because it wasn't true. There is no emotional ties to any slaves that came from Africa in such huge amount of people. It was one, literally, it was a handful. And they, like I said before, when they came here, they didn't come here as slaves. They came here as indentured servants on the false pretense. Okay? It reads, Izaka Kruma from Los Angeles expressed displeasure that Ghanaians were charged a 5 times lower entrance fee than African Americans, of course, because it's a hustle. Our people love getting hustled from everybody else, even up to this present day. Everybody here come and hustle us. Even when we go where they're at, we are being hustled. But for some reason, we're not opening up our mind to see that something is wrong. At what point are we going to wake up and realize this is a bunch of BS? Huh? Come on. Some comments irritate Ghanaians. Francis Bokwe Doa, Regional Director of Ghana Museums Board, dismisses the complaints, saying the castles are as much a part of Ghanaian heritage as of Black Americans. Well, it's not. And furthermore, we are not Black. Okay? It may be a part of, yes, some of the Africans who were taken, but it's not our story. That's why they don't have any emotional ties. Okay? They don't have any emotional ties to the story. It's only us that's here in the American continent who get all emotional over the slave trade because that's what we were taught. But the Africans have no sympathy for us because guess what? We didn't come from there. You did. We didn't come from there. Dismisses the complaint saying the castles are as much of a part of Ghanaian heritage as of Black Americans. The castles, he says, which are sited on idyllic palm-lined beaches, are part of the grand plan to promote tourism on Ghana's Atlantic coast. You hear that? It is being done for what? To promote tourism. Okay? It is all to promote tourism. It is a commercial venture for them. But no, our people, they just want to be from Africa. Besides the most of the 350 weekly visitors are Ghanaians, we may target African American tourists, but the castles belong to Ghana, he says. I'm going to read that again because you see, a lot of y'all don't realize the distaste that a lot of these people have for us. Okay? And once again, I'm not preaching division. I'm just preaching and teaching the truth. The reason being is because they know that we are not from there and we are fighting to be from there. So they don't like that. They don't like it. But y'all going to learn the hard way though. I'm going to read that again. The castles, he says, which are sited on idyllic palm-lined beaches or idyllic palm-lined beaches are part of a grand plan. Hear that? Part of a grand plan. It's a scheme to promote what? Tourism. Brothers and sisters, man. It is from their own mouth. Okay, let me see. Adjust this. Well, what I'm reading, it looks like it's exactly in the middle of the screen. So I don't know why you're not seeing that, but I'm looking at the same thing that you're reading, and I'm literally reading, and everything is centered. So I'm not sure why you can't see the screen. But all that is in the link below, okay? Just so you know. But I opened it up a little bit, so maybe that might help, okay? I'm not sure why it's blurry. I really don't know why it's blurry. Maybe, you know, maybe there's a delay. There's probably a delay. So maybe after, you know, once, you know, the video, I guess, sync with, you know, with the, what I'm doing, it'll probably be clear. So I apologize about that, but that's beyond my control. All right. I'm going to read that again. The castles, he says, which are sited on idyllic palm-lined beaches are partly of a grand plan. It's a grand scheme, okay? To what? To promote tourism on Ghana's Atlantic coast. And he said what? Besides, most of the 350 odd weekly visitors are Ghanaians. And what he says, quote and unquote, that means those are his exact words. We may target, you hear that? Target. We may target African American tourists. You hear that? You are a target. Aren't we still targets here? But the castles belong to what? Ghana, he says. It is not yours. It is not yours, but y'all fighting so hard to be from there. Running away from your home because that's what they taught you. Mr. Dowa argues that the two castles, which for centuries were held by what? Colonial powers, including the Dutch, Portuguese, British, and French, were used not just as holding areas for slaves, but also as trading centers and later as ordinary prisons or offices. The man is telling you, it wasn't just held for slaves, it was for trading centers. They were doing trade. People came here up, you know, at their own free will. You feel me? These people know the truth. They know we didn't leave their continent and came on no damn slave ships, not even in the Caribbean. But you have a whole lot of Caribbean people thinking they're Africans. Man, y'all better wake up. Now, Americans, he says, should offer money and expertise, not gripes. You hear that? Because it is all commercial. Y'all, if y'all don't want to learn, y'all gonna learn the hard way. This is the man's own words. The director, okay, of the so-called slave trade port, the museum or the castle, who's supposed to have all the sympathy for all his people that came, that were taken from Africa. What he says, Americans. He called you Americans. He didn't say, oh, our African brothers and sisters who was taken. But y'all just want to be Africans, huh? The man says Americans because you know what? He knows that we are Americans. He said what? Americans, he says, should offer money and expertise and not gripes. In other words, give me your money. I don't want to hear your damn complaints. And I ain't mad at him because he's speaking the truth. He's speaking the truth. And I have, let me tell y'all something. I have enough respect for people who tell the truth. Okay? And y'all could say what y'all want about me. I have respect for Trump because I know Trump don't give a damn about us, and he tell you that. But y'all think Obama was y'all president, huh? He did more damage than Trump to us. So y'all better wake up and realize, man, not everybody who look like you is for you. Okay? I'm just keeping it real. Now let us continue. And those are his own words. There are 2 or 3 voices claiming we are disfiguring the castle, he says. But we need to do maintenance and are paying for it with aid which belongs to both whites and blacks in the US. Well, let me ask you a question. What does whites got to do with African slavery? I'm going to read that again. I don't think y'all hearing me. I don't think y'all hearing me. Because guess what he said? There are 2 or 3 voices claiming we are disfiguring the castles. He says, but we need to do maintenance and we are paying for it with aid which belongs to what? Both whites and blacks in the US. My question is, who are these blacks and whites? They are the same people that's supporting the movement to put your asses in Africa. Okay? Doa says, it's natural for African Americans to be emotional when they see the dungeon, but nothing has been faked. Oh, really? So it's okay for them to be, he said, it is natural for them to be emotional, but nothing has been faked. Why would you think that we think it's fake? That is because, Mr. Doa, it is fake. You know damn well it's fake. Okay? You know damn well it's fake. He says, between the 15th and the 19th century, 12 to 25 million African men, women, and children were sold into slavery, often by wearing African tribal chiefs. They traveled hundreds of miles as far as away as the interiors of Ghana, Nigeria, and Benin. Well, guess what, Mr. Doa? Yes, 12 to 25 million Africans may have been taken from wherever you say, but they were not brought here in the Americas. Because we know that's a lie. Okay? That's a lie. Show me the slave ships. Show me the manifest. Don't just give me the stories, because guess what? Those museums belong to what? Whites and blacks. It don't belong to us. It belongs to them. Okay? The Smithsonian Museum. They are the ones funding it. So we already know the game that's being played. All right? We know the game that's being played. So let us not play that. Okay? It says, they sat manacled in stifling, overpacked, and dark dungeons for months at a time before being shipped across the sea to be sold as slaves. There were no toilets and little food. Well, duh, Mr. Whatever your name is, if there were no toiletry and no food, they would have died from suffocation. They would have died from their stench. Come on, partner. Those who misbehaved would be sent to a special ALS cell. And don't you think they would have died? Where they would either starve to death or suffocate. All right, there you go. Stop giving us the BS, man, please. A third of the captives died even before making the trip. Now, brothers and sisters, let's put this in perspective, right? Can anybody do me a favor? He said that 12 to 25 million were taken from Africa. Now he said a third died before they could even make the trip. Can anybody do real quick the math of a third of? He said between 12 and 25. So let's give them 15 or 18. Let's give them 18 million just for conversation's sake. Can anybody tell me what's a third of 18 million? Okay, let's get a number that could be divided in 3. Let me see. 3 6 is 18. So 3 6 is 18. So we are looking at 6 million. Okay, because he said a third of them died, right? So a third of them died. Well, let me ask you a question, right? If a third died, why is that 2/3 survived when the others died? When they were all in the same condition? Did the other what, 12 million got special treatment? Come on, man. It's just too many holes to be poked in these stories. You feel me? It's too many holes to be poked in the stories. It just doesn't add up. The numbers don't add up. It don't add up. Okay? And it says so, and it says what? They were resold in the US or other countries. Hmm. In the US and all the countries. Yeah, right. But there's no record of them coming here though. Okay, I hear you. Museum officials are making compromises. The educational film at the museum goes out of its way to cater to African Americans, drawing parallels between the civil rights movement in the US and Ghana's independence and links between both countries' music and dance. But it also makes the point that the slaves who ended up in North America between 1620 and 1860 accounted for the smallest portion of slaves taken from Africa, as estimated 1.2 to 2 million. 4 million in contrast ended up in Brazil. Yeah, right. There is no record of 1.2 million Africans coming here into the United States. That's a lie. No record of that. You hear what they have to say? Oh, well, the smallest portion was taken into North America. Okay. That's a lie, man. But like I said, everything is in the link below. So we are gonna we're just gonna leave it here for now. All right. Let me just finish this part right here. It says plans are on the way to restore the dozens of other castles that span the coast. An American diplomat said the controversy, it is a very delicate issue, did not show signs of going away. All right. Let me go to another slide here. Let me see. Historians, and all that stuff is in the link below. Okay. All that stuff is in the link below. This site is from dailymail.com. Okay. There's a lot of ads on there, but we're not going to focus on these. All right. Let me see if I could close that out. Okay. All right. Good. Let us see if we could get through this. Historians claim Obama's door of no. Come on, man. That's when you go to all these sites, man, they be having all this ads. All right. It says historians claims Obama's door of no return, which he visited to highlight the evils of slavery, is a scam and was actually used as a garbage dump. Okay. Let us go. President Obama and his family visited Gores Island outside of Dakar. Historians doubt the role of the island in the slave trade. University of Chicago professor said there are literally no historians who believe the slave house is what they are claiming it to be. Nelson Mandela, Pope John Paul II, and former US President Bill Clinton and George Washington Bush have also visited the island. Let us just read a little bit because it's interesting, right? When President Obama visited the door of no return on a Senegalese island on Thursday, he believed he was looking at where Africans were shipped across the Atlantic into slavery, but not all may be as it first seemed. Historians claim that the entrance of slave house on Goree Island, where Obama posed for a photo opportunity, was most likely only used for disposing of garbage. Man, listen, this thing is so funny to me. It's not even funny. All right? It's not even funny. As reported by the Telegraph, Professor Ralph Austin of the University of Chicago said there are literally no historians who believes the slave house is what they are claiming it to be, or that believe Goree was statistically significant in terms of the slave trade. Okay? That's a picture with Obama and Michelle and his wife Michelle. Okay, they all know it's true, man. They know the truth. But you see, they have to keep giving y'all what y'all want to believe. That's the problem. Okay, that's the problem. They're not us. It says the door of no return might actually have been used as a garbage dump rather than a loading base for slave trade. Okay? That's him right there. It says what? Mason Della enslaves. It says what? Facing history, President Obama took a tour of Goree Island outside of Dhaka, Senegal, where slaves used to be depart on boats bound for America in the late 18th century. Historians point out the Atlantic Ocean at Goree Island is both shallow and rocky, which would have made it difficult for a slave ship to load its grim cargo at that point. Man, listen, once again, if y'all want to believe this BS, y'all could go ahead and believe this BS, okay? They're not tricking me, okay? They are not tricking me with the lies. I am not falling for it. And I'm giving y'all information. Whether I'm not asking anybody to believe me. Go do your own research. I'm just giving you the information and do what you want to do with it. All right? That's just my job. Okay? That's my job. But believe me, they know the truth. It says, the role of the island in slave trade has long been disputed. Long been disputed. Okay? Has long been disputed. Because I'm going to read that again. Historians point out that the Atlantic Ocean at the Goree Island is both shallow, meaning that it is too low for a slave ship, and it's too rocky, which would have made it difficult for a slave ship to load its grim cargo at that point. In other words, they're saying if you jump in that water, it might go up to your damn knees. Okay? It might go up to your knees. The role of the island in the slave trade has long been disputed. Thought it has become an important symbol and emotional reminder of the horrific events of the past. The Telegraph reports that many scholars now believe that people were kept at this fort. They might have been used by residents of the island rather than for mass transportation to America. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to read that to you again. Okay, they sent a telegraph, and the telegraph reported what? That many scholars now believe that the people were kept at this fort. They might have been used by residents of the island rather than for mass transportation to the Americas. Okay? Do not believe the hype. You feel me? It says, many think that other locations in West Africa, like Ghana, have stronger claims to being huge staging posts for the slave trade. But we just went over Ghana and we show you the non-emotional connection they have to the slave trade. So we already know that wasn't the people that was taken. So we know that's a lie. Okay, so I already went through that and debunked that. All right. In 1990s, Philip Curtin and emeritus professor of history at Johns Hopkins University and the author of 24 books on the Atlantic slave trade, became one of the first scholars to question the authenticity of the slave house. Okay, now the man is a well-known historian of the Atlantic slave trade, and he's questioning the authenticity of that slave house where Obama and his damn family is posing, telling y'all y'all came from slaves. Huh? They all own it. They know the truth. They know the truth, but they will not tell you because you want to be a slave. You want to be descendants of a damn slave who came here on a boat. Here we go again. President Obama was accompanied to Goree Island by his wife, Michelle, their eldest daughter, Malaya, Michelle's mother, Marion Robinson, and their niece, Leslie. Come on, man. These people are not my idols, man. I don't look up to these people. Anybody who's here telling lies and deceiving my people, I have no respect for you. Period. Period. In a discussion on an island forum for historians, he said he believed the hoax was perpetuated by the what? Charismatic Joseph Nadia. Nadia was the museum's first curator, and he ushered generations of visitors through the house, recounting the alleged horrors perpetuated there with the theoretical pomp. All right, Nadia Nadei initially claimed that 20 million had passed through the house. Now, if 20 million alone came from Senegal, and yet still in Ghana, they say it was between 12 and 25 million came from Africa. Okay? Came from Africa. How is that 20 million from the 25 million came from Senegal alone? Come on, man. Family, man. Brothers and sisters, I mean, numbers don't lie, family. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Come on. Now check this out. They're saying that up and he said 20 million, right, passed through that port alone, the Goree Island, right? Now he said up in it to what, 40 million by the time Curtin visited in 1992, 4 times the total figure of slaves exported from Africa overall. My brothers and sisters, come on. Like, am I the only one seeing what I'm reading? Literally, the man is giving a number of slaves that came from Senegal, more than the total amount that came from Africa in 1992. Am I the only one that's reading this? Huh? Man, listen, man. Y'all better wake up, yo. A lot of people have been taken in by the Goree scam. You hear that? It's a scam. And Obama was there promoting it with his family. Curtin wrote, though Goree is a picturesque place, it was marginal to the slave trade. From 1501 to 1866, an estimated 12 million slaves from Africa were sent to North America according, they say what? According to a database created by what? Scholars using shipping records and plantation registers. Well, where it's at? Show me the manifest. Show me, they said according. So that could be a lie. Okay, 12 million, because they said it was total 12 million. Now this dude is talking about 40 million came from Senegal alone. Come on. Stop the BS, man. From 1501 to 1866, an estimated 12 million slaves from Africa were sent to North America according to a database created. You hear that? Created by scholars using shipping records and plantation registers. I want to see those shipping records. I want to see those plantation registers. Let me see them, because they don't exist. Okay? It says what? Of these, only 33,000 came from Goree Island, and an insignificant portion of the overall total the database shows. So if the database is showing only 33,000 came from Goree Island, why is this dude saying 40 million? And if a third of them died, then only 11,000, okay, could have made it. But where they at? Come on, man, stop the lies, please. Stop the lies. He said, yet the plagues which graced the stone walls of the slave house speak of millions of slaves that passed through its halls. When in the manifest and the records, it only show 33 million, but on the walls, they talk about over 40 million. It's a lie. It is a lie. Okay? It's a blatant lie. Look at them. Look at them. Look at their faces. Okay? Look at their faces, showing the concern, the fake concern, the emotion. Look at their faces very well. Right? You think they're for you? No, they're not for you. They were never for you. Y'all got bamboozled. Y'all got tricked. Okay? Y'all got tricked so that they could put things in place to take us 400 to 500 years back into the past. That's your president. That's y'all heroes and y'all sheroes. All this is a stage, man. They're all actors. They playing a role. Okay? They playing a role. It says, the debate over the houses placed in history has become emotionally charged and politically treacherous is Senegal due to the high-profile role the museum plays in the attracting tourists to the island. Brothers and sisters, it is all for commercial purposes. At least the man in Ghana, he was honest enough to say it was a grand plan to attract tourists. At least he was honest. I respect that honesty. You feel me? It says, including celebrity visitors like what? Obama. Obama is a celebrity. Okay? Nelson Mandela, Pope John Paul, and the former US President Bill Clinton, y'all love so much, and George W. Bush. On Thursday, Obama described the visit as a very powerful moment, and that going to the site with his family helped them fully appreciate the magnitude of the slave trade. No. You appreciate the magnitude of the lie. There was no slave trade like that. Obama also said that as an African-American president, Obama never called himself an African-American. I have never heard Obama call himself an African-American. So that's a lie. The trip gives him even greater motivation to stand up for human rights around the world, and the visit just hours after he clashed with his Senegalese host over gay rights, because he wanted to take the agenda into Senegal. Okay, they want to push the slave trade, but he said, no. Now we ain't trying to have this gay stuff over here. Okay, y'all better wake up and realize what's going on, man. Y'all better wake up. He said the island is a reminder of what happens when civil rights are not protected. Okay, don't get gay rights confused with civil rights, and that's something I have to talk about in a build. Okay, it's not the same thing, and y'all could get mad if y'all want. I don't give a damn. I'm here speaking the truth. Okay. Look at them, man. Look at them. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. But anyway, that's in the link below. There's no need for us to go any further. So I'm going to close this out. Close this out. Let's go to the next one. Next one. All right. Let us go into the autobiography of Frederick Douglass, a slaveholder's character. Let us read a little bit. And all that's in the link below as well. Okay. That's in the link below as well. Okay, it says, brothers and sisters, don't forget to hit the super chat, all right? I also have the Cash App in the link below. Support, show your love, okay? We're in school today. A lot of work is being put on, so please show your appreciation, all right? It's very much appreciated. Now, the autobiography of Frederick Douglass, a slaveholder's character. Let's read. Although my old master, Captain Anthony, gave me, at the first of my coming to him, from my grandmother's very little attention, and although that little was of a remarkably mild and gentle description, a few months only were sufficient to convince me that mildness and gentleness were not the prevailing or governing traits of his character. These excellent qualities were displayed only occasionally. He could, when it suited him, appear to be literally insensible to the claims of humanity. He could not only be deaf to the appeals of the helpless against the aggressor, but he could himself commit outrages, deep, dark, and nameless. Yet he was not by nature worse than other men. Had he been brought up in a free state, surrounded by the full restraints of civilized society. Let's read here. All right, it says, restraints which are necessary to the freedom of all its members alike and equally. Captain Anthony might have been a humane a man as are members of such society generally. A man's character always takes its hue, more or less, from the form and color of things about him. The slaveholder, as well as the slave, was the victim of the slave system. Under the whole heavens, there could be no relation more unfavorable to the development of the honorable character than that sustained by the slaveholder to the slave. Reason is imprisoned here, and passions run wild. Could the reader have seen Captain Anthony gently leading me by the hand, as he sometimes did, patting me on his head, speaking to me in soft, caressing tones, and calling me his little Indian boy, He would have deemed him kind-hearted of man and really almost fatherly to the slave boy. Now I'm going to read that again because I don't think y'all heard me. Okay, let us read from here. We are talking about Frederick Douglass and his slave master. I'm going to highlight and read right here in blue because I don't think y'all hearing me today. Okay, I don't think y'all hearing me today. Okay, I'm just going to highlight that just for a second. And I want y'all to let this digest. And for those of you who could appreciate that, show some love to the super chat. All right, because this is pertinent information. Once again, I'm certainly sure it may be things a lot of y'all have heard before. So I may not be doing things that nobody else is not doing, but I'm just playing my part. I'm just putting it in context in the best way I know how. Okay, but I'm bringing some jewels to the platform. Okay, let us read that again. A man's character always takes its hue more or less from the form and color of things about him. Now, Frederick Douglass is speaking in words of the relationship between him and his master. Okay? It says, the slaveholder, as well as the slave, was the victim of the slave system. Under the whole heavens, there could be no relation more unfavorable to the development of the honorable character than that sustained by the slaveholder to the slave. Reason is imprisoned here and passions run wild. Could the reader have seen Captain Anthony gently leading me? Okay, that's what Frederick Douglass is saying. Can the reader envision this? I am taking y'all back into the time of Frederick Douglass when he was a little boy. Okay, and he's telling of an experience. Can or could the reader, talking about us, the reader, because we are reading right now, can you have seen Captain Anthony gently leading me by the hand? I want y'all to envision that, as he sometimes did, patting me on my head. Can you imagine you as a little boy or a little girl, and you're walking with Captain Anthony? Okay, you're a slave, all right? Speaking to you very softly, caressing with caressing tones, and calling me what? His little Indian boy. He didn't say his little Negro boy. He didn't say his little black boy. He didn't say his little African American boy. He says what? Calling me his little Indian boy. I'm gonna leave that here. The link is below. Y'all could go read the rest for yourself. Okay? Y'all could go read the rest for yourself. But I'm just showing you again, debunking the lies. They hiding the fact that we are the people they call the American Indians, the original ones. Okay? And Frederick Douglass found out the truth of who he was, and he was able to educate himself and free himself. Okay? Then let's go to the next one. Now, we're going to put, remember I was trying to show y'all a link yesterday, okay? And put this in perspective. Okay? Put this in perspective. Now we are coming back to the part that the Moors played in all of this, because we're not going to leave them out. This is crucial. Okay? Because if we're talking about reparations, like I said, we have to seek reparations from the Dutch, the French, the English, the Spaniards, and a lot of those were Moors. Okay? So we're going to read this, and that's in the link below. I wanted to show you guys. We're going to read that. That's what I was reading to you guys last night, but for some reason, I wasn't allowed to share it. I don't know what, if it was something on my part or something on their part. I don't want to blame YouTube for everything. You know, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. All right? Now, it says, Septimus Severus was a Nomadian African Moor from North Africa. Anytime you speak of Moors, it is always associated with Africa. Okay? He was the founder and ancestor of all the members of the Severan dynasty. You hear that? He was the founder and ancestor of all. So we are talking of a particular bloodline. Brothers and sisters, okay? Hear what I'm talking about now. We are talking about a certain bloodline, a lineage, DNA, okay? And look at the complexion of the man. The man is dark skinned. Obviously, you could tell that he's a Moor, the original. You see, they didn't whitewash it because certain things they can't whitewash. So Septimus Severus was a nomadian African Moor from North Africa. He was the founder and ancestor of all, not some, but all the members of the Severan dynasty. Okay? Let us read. Septimius Severus was the first what? Roman emperor not born and raised in Italy. My brothers and sisters, like I told y'all before, the Romans are the Moors. The Romans are the Moors. Okay? And when the Roman Empire fell, they started moving into different parts of Africa to fight their own brothers to regain their power. They are power hungry. Okay? I'm going to read that again because I'm not sure if y'all heard me now. I'm going to read that again. Okay? Septimius Severus was the first Roman emperor not born and raised in Italy because the original Italians were dark-skinned. His father's family originally came from where? Liberia. Okay? Liberia. Leptus Magna. And his mother family were Etruscans, and that was another word for Italians. Okay? Etruscans. Now, let us go look at that map, which I've shown y'all before. Herodotus map 450 BC.
Showing pictures that match.
Okay, let us go here. All right. Now let us click on that. All right, and we're gonna show this. 450 BC. We're looking at a map. Click on that map. All right, here we go. Now let us go back to what we were reading. Let me close this out because I read this already. Let's close this out. It says what? Okay, Septimius Severus was the first Roman emperor not born and raised in Italy. His father's family originally came from what? Libya. Libya, right? Let me ask you a question, brothers and sisters. Pay attention now. Pay attention. Herodotus map in 450 BC. At that time, there were only so-called 3 continents. Okay? Because they had no contact with the American continent at that time. So we were not on the world map. They didn't know of us. But at that time, it was only Europe, Asia, and what? Libya. Okay? Which is now called Africa. Okay? Clemonis, the Aborigine, thank you for supporting the super chat. Very much appreciated. I hope others, follow suit as well. Okay? Brother, where did they say he was from? Let us go back. Let us go back. Let us go back. It says what? Originally came from Libya. Family, at that time, Libya was considered Africa. Okay? Africa. Africa didn't even exist then. It was called Libya. That whole landmass was called Libya. And if you go look at the etymology of Africa, what? It tells you the only place that was called Africa was Tunisia. Because that's where Africanus went. Okay, another Moor, all right, and did what? He fought and gained control over Tunisia and named it Africa. But then, because of more colonization, Libya lost its hold, or the empire, I guess, and they named the entire continent, because of colonization, Africa. So for all those of you who claiming to be African, man, y'all better know y'all history. Okay? Let us read. His grandfather, okay, so remember, the first Roman emperor was a Moor. And you can see he was a so-called dark-skinned man. Okay? His grandfather, a Moorish knight of the Roman Empire. Look at how they spell Moorish. M-U-U-R-I-S-H. And that's how these Moors keep tricking y'all. The wordplay, that's what they do. The folk tongue. Okay, they do the same thing the pale man do. Because those are their children. They taught them. And they are always proud to tell you, oh, we taught them everything they know. Oh, we know. We know you did. Oh, we built their cities. Oh, we know you did. We taught them how to fight. Oh, we know you did. But they never want to tell you we brought them here. They always leave that part out. They always leave that part out. But his grandfather was what? Chief Strongbow. Thank you for supporting the super chat. I appreciate that. Mikey G13, I got the super chat below. Also, I got my Cash App in the link. So either way, it's appreciated. Much love. Okay. His grandfather was what? Moorish. Murish. So nowadays, these Moors will tell you what? What they're gonna tell you? They're gonna tell you, well, you know, it's not M-O-O-R, it's M-U-U-R. No, it's the same thing. It's wordplay. Potatoes is the same thing. Tomatoes is the same thing. Okay? His grandfather, a Moorish knight of the Roman Empire. Let me ask you a question. Go look at your American Express card. What do you see? A Roman helmet. Okay? A Roman helmet. What does that represent? The Moors still control y'all to a certain extent. Okay? It is all part of the grand scheme. It is all part of the grand scheme. His grandfather, a Moorish knight of the Roman Empire, owned land near Rome, but the Septimius had grown up in Libya, Africa, with his father. Septimius married Julia Domna, a Syrian daughter of a high priest, because they were all nobles. So they had to keep their bloodline within the nobles, okay? The name Domna is derived from the archaic Arabic word dumana, meaning black, okay? Meaning what? Black. So guess what? Guess who were called the black people? Moor means black, okay? Y'all better recognize, man, and realize what's going on. All right. So what they did, they came and gave us the title black. They gave it to us. Y'all better recognize. Y'all think this is a game, huh? Y'all really think this is a game? Give me a second here. All right. They were called black, and they actually gave up that black name and gave it to us. So y'all better stop blaming these Caucasians for everything. I'm not saying that this Caucasian hands are clean. I'm not saying that. But I just want y'all to know, stop blaming the pale face for everything. It is not the pale face that's doing all the grimy stuff to us. No. Okay? The Arabic word Dalmaya right here meaning black. So meaning that, Mikey G13, thank you again for supporting the super chat. I appreciate that, and I'm certainly sure, you know, our channel, you know, admins, you know what I'm saying, they appreciate that as well. Okay. The name Damna is derived from the archaic Arabic word Damena, meaning black. Septimius and Julia had two sons, Caracalla. Somebody donated on the super chat, so I mean on the Cash App, so I want to say thank you for that. All right. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. All right. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate love. Appreciate love. Okay. Meaning, and guess what again? It says Septimius and Julia had two sons. Caracalla, the elder, born in AD 188, and Geta. Because Septimius' family were highly placed Roman what? Citizens, he was entitled to be educated in Rome. Upon graduation, he became a lawyer and practiced briefly in Rome. His family background, education, and experience placed him within a strong network of influence of privilege. He had solid support and patronage within the highest ranks of the empire. Brothers and sisters, pay attention. Pay attention. All right? Okay? He became a Roman senator at the age of 18 years upon an imperial appointment sanctioned by Marcus Aurelius in 175 AD. He then joined the Imperial Legion. Brothers and sisters, look at that word legion. What does it remind you of? All you have to do is put a what? A re in front of it, and you get religion. Chief Kalinago, you dropping too many bombs. Okay? So what they did was, because they lost their legions, they had to come into the Americas and what? Create legions, which is religion. Oh my goodness. Let me drink some water on this. Because I think my ancestors are they just got me working right now. Okay? They just got me working right now. Okay? Don't let them fool you, family. Don't let them fool you. Take off the veil over your eyes. Don't let them play with you, fam. Don't let them play with you. You did. Don't let them play with you. Okay? Don't let them play with you, family. I'm going to read that again because I don't think y'all heard me. I don't think y'all heard me. I'm about to drop this again. All right? He then joined the Imperial Legion, okay, an officer. So therefore, when they lost their power, they had to go all over the world to do what? To create religions because of the power they lost. Legion is a group of nobles, okay? Imperial Legion. They look down on everybody else. Basically the same concept, the have against the have-nots, okay? The civilized versus the uncivilized. So they came and gave y'all religion so that they could indoctrinate y'all in their churches while they abuse you. Trust me, their religion ain't got nothing to do with going to heaven or a sky daddy. Nothing to do with that. It's about controlling your mind, controlling your energy, controlling your resources. That's what it's about. And you have these pastors fooling you. You got to give your 10%. You got to get your 20%. You got to get your membership. If you don't pay it, you cannot come to the damn church. But don't forget, you're part of a legion. That's what you're a part of. It was just brought back as a religion, meaning that it was done before. Okay? Let us continue. From the age of 24, he took part in the campaigns. Spain, what? In Spain. Uh-oh. Now, let me ask you a question. Who ruled Spain? Who ruled Spain for over 700 years? Can y'all answer that for me in the chat? Can anybody answer that for me? Who ruled Spain for over 700 years? Who ruled Spain for 700 years, family? Can anybody answer me that? There you go. Thank you, Desmond Williams. The Moors. Let us continue reading. All right, let us continue reading. From the age of 24, he took part in the campaign in Spain, Syria, Gaul, Sicily, and Athens. Soon he had attained the rank of military commander in the Imperial what? Legion, and became the member of the what? Praetorian Guards. Doesn't Praetorian kind of sound like patriotic? Praetorian Guards. He also served as the governor of Gallia, Lugdunensis, and Sicily, and towards the end of the Commodore's reign, he was made consul in AD 190. The Africans in Rome. As should be obvious to anyone with any knowledge of Rome history, Black people in general were the foundational in the demographics of what? Of Rome. Brothers, and look, they're telling you, as should be obvious. They say it should be obvious. If you don't know the original Romans were Black, they say, man, listen, you got to be the dumbest nail on the planet, because they're telling you right there, as should be obvious to anyone with any knowledge of Rome. They're telling you, if you have any knowledge of Rome and you don't know that the Romans were Black, then something is wrong with you. But let us read this again. As should be obvious to anyone with any knowledge of Rome history, Black people in generally were foundational in the demographics of Rome. It is generally known that the kingdom that preceded Rome, Etruria, was basically built by what? A black and brown people who had immigrated to Rome Peninsula via what? North Africa. So who were they? They were the Moors. Okay, they were the Moors. Roman Empire thus had many prominent black people, some being Aboriginal what? Europeans, because guess what? The original Europeans were Moors. Otherwise known as European what? What? M-U-U-R-S. Chief, you got to stop right here. You're giving them too much. So now they're going to fool you. Well, family, we are not the OOMR from the American continent. Now, we are the land of Mu. Don't fall for that trick. Okay, the American continent was never M-U-U-R. Okay, that was a trick. You feel me? They're trying to get you to get back into the legion so they could build back their empire, so that they could fight their pale-faced brothers that betrayed them. Y'all better realize what's going on. This ain't got nothing to do with us Aborigines. But y'all want to play these games, right? Keep playing these games. See what's going to happen. All right? Now let us continue. Let us continue. Others came from what? Anatolia, from the regions of Smyrna, Sardis, Cappadocia, and Syria. Many of the ancient bishops of the Orthodox Church were from this branch, from black what? Black people, and their iconic images still exist today to be a testimony to their what? Ethnicity. So when they brought their Christianity here, you have all these Christians, it came from us, black people like us. Yes, it came from the Moors, but it's not ours. Okay? That it was their legion. And they brought that here to enslave y'all so that they could fund their legion, which is in the guise of a religion. Brothers and sisters, man, I don't know what more to tell y'all, but I'm giving it to you. Okay? One also had Moors from what? Africa. So you have the Moors, M-U-U-R, from Europe. And you also had the M-U-U-R from Africa. Nowhere they ever said you had M-U-U-R or M-O-R-R from the American continent. Never. I have never seen that. You feel me? Let us proceed. One also had Moors, M-U-U-R, from Africa, Ethiopia, and what? Libya. Moorish Africans from what? Morocco, from Egypt, as far as present-day Nigeria. Then countries like Nigeria and Mali were also prominent in the Roman Empire. Brothers and sisters, they are all one people trying to make us think that we are them, because they're trying to take over the American soil, which is ours by birthright and pedigree. So what they tell you, oh, this is Morocco. No, it's not. Many were landed aristocracy, like the families of Septimus Severus and others such as Gaius Nigrinus, etc. Rome actively sought out the Moorish Africans because they were the fronts of knowledge. You hear that? Rome actively sought out the Moorish Africans because they were the fronts of knowledge, religion, and what? Culture. They went around and brought religion into the world. Look at that word again. Legion. Separate re from legion. What do you get? Religion, because they were part of legions. Okay? So they had to go into the world and give them religion and their culture. That's why Rome sought out the Moorish Africans. Okay? Egyptian and Ethiopian priests preceded other the shrines of Isis, which were prevalent over the Roman Empire. Now keep in mind that Egypt they're talking about is what they were commonly called Kemet. But the original Egypt, which is of course that's not what we called it, was actually in the Americas. All right. So those are the same descendants of the original Egyptians that was in actually South America. When they started, they lost the battle and they had to migrate into Africa to create these new pyramids. Those are the Egyptians that they are talking about. So I'm just putting all that in perspective so that you guys could know exactly where we are at with this. Okay, good. engineering geniuses from Alexandria, from Thebes, Egypt, and others from Kat Hadash, from Meroe, and Abyssinia all flocked Rome because there was a sore need of them in the construction and finishing of the imperial building projects. You see them? That's all them. All them there with the afros. All right. Let me ask you a question. Where the locks at? Where's the locks? I don't see nobody with locks. Okay. Y'all better recognize. All right. Master stone cutters of Nubia and Ethiopia, master stone masons of Egypt and Libya, master builders of Anatolia, Greece, Cyprus, Malta, and southern Greece. All what? All black. All children of what? Africa were the real builders of the cities of Roman Empire, the Moors. Y'all better recognize, y'all better realize what's going on. Why they want you so bad, why they want us so bad to call ourselves Moors here. Because the moment we all fall for the trick and identify as Moors, guess what? We are under the foothold of Rome. Y'all see why they're pushing so hard? All right, y'all better realize, okay? They're not gonna like the truth. They're not gonna like it. They're not gonna like it, Chief, but it's okay. It's all right. I'm not here for likes. It was almost comparable to how black people built the Americas. Stop. It was what? It was almost comparable to how black people built America. So what? You trying to tell me, again, confirming that so-called black people was already here, almost comparable to how black people built Americas? Okay. Why didn't they say the Moors in America? You see, family? I'm showing y'all, man, the game that's being played. Just that in Rome, in Roman, those builders were celebrated nobility. Whereas in the case of Americas, they were degraded as what? Slaves. You feel me? And that's what they're doing, they're doing to us today. I'm going to read that again. I'm going to read this again. Because I don't think y'all heard me. I don't think y'all heard me. Let's read this again. Right here. It was almost comparable to how black people built the Americas. Just as in Roman, those builders were celebrated nobility. So they celebrated these builders in Rome as nobility, whereas in the case, now it's comparable, but in the case of the Americas, what? They were degraded as what? Slaves. So who you think called the slaves first? It wasn't the Caucasian man. It wasn't the pale man. It was the Moors. Y'all gonna learn today. Y'all gonna learn today. Whether you like it or not, I'm gonna shove this information down your throat. And if you don't want it, go to the bathroom, stick your finger in your mouth and throw it up. But I'm gonna give it to you and you're gonna eat it. Okay? Now you do what you want with it, but I'm gonna put it in your mouth. It's up to you if you want to chew and swallow, but you could spit it out. But I'm giving y'all the facts, okay? Which is why it is generally said that ancient Romans invented nothing new and simply built on the foundations of more sophisticated but more ancient civilizations. Hold up, you're trying to tell me more ancient civilization, meaning that comparing to America, so America is in the conversation of ancient civilizations? Oh, wow. And those people were also black. So let me ask these so-called natives, where the hell were you at? Y'all want to play games? Y'all ain't playing games with me. I ain't the one. I am not the one. It says what? The point cannot be overemphasized. The Africans were foundational to the building and the expansion and the success of Rome. Thus, at the time of Septimius Severus, the African Moor had gotten too influential and so numerous in the empire that it was only a matter of time before they took over the reins of the command. The African called latest wars and conspiracy. So, I mean, that link is in the link below, family. All right, go ahead, read it, do your thing with it. You know what I'm saying? I just want to expose y'all to this. Okay, you see them on all the walls. Look at them with all the walls. That's them right there. What it says? It says Moorish cavalry under Lucius Cotus fighting against the Dacians from the column of Trajan. It looked like Trojan to me. Like I told y'all before, the Moors were the Trojans. All right, let us see if we could bring that up. Let us see if we could just blow this up a little. Y'all think I'll be playing, huh? Let us look at this right here. Okay? Let us look at this right here. Let's blow this up. Let's blow this up. Right? Let's blow this up. Look at this. It says, right? Moorish cavalry under Lucius Quintus fighting against the Decians from the column of Trajan. That sounds like Trojan to me, but what do I know? Huh? It says, master horsemen like those immortalized by Emperor Trajan in the Trajan's columns artwork. They were the striking edge of the imperial army. They were the cavalry riders of the Maghreb, tearing through the wind on their Arabian breed horses. Don't they always talk about Maghreb and L this and L that, the land? No, this is not our stuff, man. They were the master bowmen of Nubia. They were the toughest and the most fearsome battalion that Roman legion ever deployed in battle. They were the soldiers that the Pacific Pannonia, including Morea, Bulgaria, Slovenia, Romania, Albania, and the rest of Central Europe. They brought peace under the government to those regions. They protected them from their predations of the barbarian Goths and the Slavs, the Teutonics, and the Hellenics. So once again, Lucius further positions his other Moorish proteges like Pesinius Niger, sound like nigga to me, a black Italian Moorish career officer from who? Italy, whose family roots probably stretched to Niger Bend in the Sahara, probably the present day Nigeria or Mali, and Claudius Albanos, and another African from North Africa into very powerful positions. So once again, brothers and sisters, you see why they want to put us in Nigeria. You see why they want to put us in all these places, because they want us to be Moors. That's what they're doing. Although named Albinus, meaning what? Fair skin, Claudius was a black African Moor. It be recognized that fair-skinned Africans are as numerous as dark-skinned Africans in North and Northwest Africa. You see what I'm saying? Northwest Africa. So what they say? Oh, America is Northwest Africa. No, it ain't. Because they have people there that were dark-skinned and also fair-skinned. Don't play these games with me, man. I ain't the one. Anyway, I'm not going to read anymore. All right? I ain't going to read anymore. Now, remember I was showing y'all the video, right, of the movie The Drumline, right? I guess I put that in the link below. All you have to do is go check it out yourself. All right? Check it out yourself where, all right, where, that's not the one, The Drumline. Where, what's his name? Nick Cannon. Where Nick Cannon, The Drumline, The Last Battle. Look at the images, right? You see who they have. They have a brother. Everything is symbolic. Everything is symbolic. Okay, the link is everything I'm sharing with you right now is in the link of the video. All right. So if you want to further reading and more research on that and go through everything, it's in the link below. Okay. Look at this right here. That is an image from the Battle of the Drumline, the movie. Look at who's representing. You see, Nick Cannon is representing the Moors, the Africans, okay? And then they are battling the American Indians. Now let me show you the leader of the American Indians. It's the brother with braids. You see, y'all got to peep the game. Look at the brother with the braids. All right? Look at the brother with the braids. Okay? Let me blow this up for y'all. Look at the brother with the braids. But everybody else on Nick Cannon's team, they have no braids. And it says what? Panther. Okay? Panther. All right? Panther. You take away the third, you have Pan what? Pan-Africanist. All right? Peep the game. Now, look at who they're battling. They're battling the Indians representing the feathers. Okay? You feel me? Whether it could be a girl, but I think it was a brother, but it could be a girl. The point is, you know, they had the braids, okay? So it looked like it was all dudes really that was in both bands. So it could be my mistake, right? It could be my mistake. All right. So with that being said, it was supposed to be the American Indians versus the Moors or Africans. All right. That's what the symbology was. This, the symbolic information of that movie. All right. So I'm showing y'all what it was. It was really a battle. Okay. And then years later, prove me wrong. Years later, who's here pushing the Moor agenda? Nick Cannon. He said, well, they asked him if he was a Moor. He said, nah, I'm not a Moor. It's just a way of life. Well, Nick Cannon, you in America. So why aren't you pushing the American Aboriginal way of life? So stop playing the game, brother. Stop playing the game. You could fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all of the time, family. It ain't gonna happen. Not on my watch. Okay? The feathers, feathers up, feathers up. Okay? Feathers up. Now, right here, I think that's a brother. I think that's a brother. Whether it's a girl or a guy, it's, the point is the braids. Okay? So that's what this is all about. So I'm just showing y'all, all right, what this is. Okay? Okay, so we could escape that. And now, let us go back to a slide that I also put in the link below, okay? I'm not going to play it because it's really long, but I really want you guys to digest this for a second, all right? And I'm going to explain to you what this video is about. It's in the link below. It says, Inside the Wealthiest Black Families in America, Social Club Elite History, 1999. Now, let me give you the premise of this video, okay? Now, the gentleman that's going to be talking, okay, he is part of the Boule. And he has written many books talking about the Boule. And that, okay, he wrote books about the depiction of the Boule and their lifestyle. And the Boule are so-called heavy or the light-skinned, the heavy light-skinned race, which were the children of, okay, the colonizers, all right, and American Aborigines. What they did was they created a society where they still consider themselves black, but they are not black enough to mingle with the rest of the so-called African Americans or so-called black people. In other words, the have-nots. So they have created all these sororities, okay, all these sororities that you think, I'm talking about Jack and Jill, all right, who you think was created by the paleface. It wasn't created by paleface. It was created by mulattoes. So now they have the Boule is a society, okay, of the wealthiest so-called black families that not even Oprah could be a part of, because they say that Oprah is new generational wealth. Okay, not even Bill Cosby could be a part of it. Not even Michael Jordan could be a part of it. Not even Beyonce or Jay-Z could be a part of it. Now they say Jay-Z is the first hip hop billionaire. Well, guess what? Jay-Z cannot be part of the wealthiest so-called black families, which is part of that society. So the brother is breaking that down. But what was the irony in that was when it was time for the audience to ask questions, everybody asked questions. He answered those questions eloquently, I must say. However, at the end of that, there was another brother who asked him, well, when you say black, what do you mean? What is black? And all of a sudden he choked up. He couldn't answer, well, black. And then all of a sudden he diverted and moved to another question. Because you see, the Boule, okay, these wealthy families, they are the ones supporting all these so-called black colleges to keep you black. They are the ones that supporting your educational system to keep you black, while they are the ones creating slaves. But they don't want you to know that. So I would like for you, if you may, go in the link below the video after all this is said and done in your spare time and click on the link and listen to this video, all right? Listen to this video and listen to the conversation and pay attention to the brother at the end who asked, what is black? What does that mean? And here is the answer. But it is very, very interesting that he said that not even Bill Cosby could have been part. Even when Bill Cosby, even before Bill Cosby got into all this situation, not even Bill Cosby could have been part of that society. Not even Oprah, because they call Oprah's wealth generational, new wealth. So they're literally talking about the foundation of when they came here and they started raping the American Indians and they took everything away from us. And these mulattoes, they are the ones who took the wealth. All right. And they have an obligation. All right. They have an obligation to give for nonprofit organizations to so-called Black people so that they could go to school for free, go to all this, well-known colleges. All right. So brothers and sisters, this is deep. This is deep. I just wanted to point that out for you guys. Okay. So I'm about to conclude this live because at 7 p.m., we got the we got the matriarch build. So I just wanted to come and drop some information for you guys, which I thought, it's important, man. You know what I'm saying, that we drop that information. You feel me? So yeah, here we go. All right. So once again, how is everybody doing? How is everybody? I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed this build, man. You know what I mean? I gotta go chill for a minute, relax myself, just meditate for a little while. It's about what, 4:30 right now. So in another 2.5 hours, okay, another 2.5 hours, we're gonna be doing the matriarch build. So once again, any one of you matriarchs that would like to be on the 7 p.m. live today, all right, send me an email. My email is in the link below, and be part of the conversation. This is what this is about, okay? Us coming together, showing the truth, all right? I'm showing you things that I know for a fact that a lot of people are not showing you, all right? And I'm not looking for any type of, chip on the shoulder. I ain't looking for that. I'm just letting you know that I'm putting in that work for real, just like a lot of people are doing. But I just want to bring some things to the platform that I haven't seen anywhere. You feel me? So be very mindful, man. Let us not fall into this trap. Let us not fall into this trap because it's real. Okay, it's real. And we have to realize the agendas that's being pushed. Okay? We have to realize the agendas that's being. I appreciate that, T God. Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna conclude this live, and I'm gonna take a break. Like I said, eat something, go outside, get some sun, do a little sun gazing, and I'm gonna come back and do the build with the matriarchs for the 7 p.m. build. You feel me? So Chief Blackbird White Tip, the link for the build tonight is for the matriarchs. If our sister would like to get on, just send me an email requesting that, and when it's time for us to get on, I will make sure that she's able to get on. You did? So at the end of the day, let's make this thing happen. All right, we're just here to drop the information, drop the truth to our people. All right, all the lies that's being told, we're going to debunk it. We are going to continue to debunk it. Share the information, share the videos, put your family in front of the information instead of having them watching Power and TV and all these different things. Just put the video, let it play. Let it play. They might hear something that might catch their attention. All right. So let it play in the car while you're traveling. Let it play in the car. They might hear something. That's how you start dropping those jewels. You feel me? So somebody says, hey Chief, what if the Afro-Can are the African today? I don't know what you mean by that, Desmond. If you mean the Afro-American, the Afro-Incan are the African today. No, when you say Inca, you're talking about the Inca? Nah, the Inca, the Aborigines, fam. Some of them did come. You know what I mean? Some people did migrate, like a typical example. A lot of in Peru, all right? I'm not sure if it was the Aztecs, but the Aztecs, I think, came over. I think the Aztecs came over. I'm not sure. I got to do some research on that as well. All right. I have the information. I just got to, go into my arsenal and bring that information out. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell y'all something. All right. What this system is afraid more than a gun is you using your mind, you educating yourself. Because you see, when you pull out a gun, They could shoot you easily, and they have an excuse to justify that. All right. But when you use that, you feel me? When you educate yourself, that's what they're afraid of. You feel me? So let's educate ourselves. Let's get the information. You feel me? Because the slave trade was in reverse. Oh yeah, the slave trade was in reverse. So if that's what you're saying, a lot of what you have to realize is that, right? A lot of so-called Africans are actually American Aborigines, because the first slave trade was the American Indian slave trade, truth be told. So a lot of our people are actually across the waters. So my goal, and I'm gonna say this right here in open, okay? And this is a public statement that I'm making, like everything else. I'm making my disclaimer, all right? That I have nothing against Africans. The truth of the matter is, we may be one of the same people. My goal is to make sure our story is told. All right? Our story is told. That we were already here, okay? And we didn't come from over there. And the truth of the matter is, the majority of us that was here already, millions, if thousands, if not millions of us, was taken across the waters. But nobody's talking about that. You feel me? So when they do their little DNA tests and all that stuff they be doing, and they say, well, y'all Africans, no, they're testing our people. They're testing our people and telling you that you are from there. No, they are from here. So let's put this into perspective. Everything they told us was a lie. Like you said, it was told in reverse. I agree. All right? So all that religion, all that stuff came from Rome, man. That came from the Moors in Rome. All of them. I'm talking about Islam. I'm talking about Christianity. I'm talking about Buddhism. All that came from them, because we were just a people living in nature, just chilling. Okay, we saw God. I'm using that word God. All right, we saw God in nature. We saw God in everything. We saw God in rocks. Okay, so when they came, you know, again, our cousins across the seas, the Moors, they came and called us what? Savages. It wasn't the pale man that came and called us savages, family. It was the Moors. Okay, they called us savages because we were not part of their legion. You see, people think religion is based on the book, and a book that's gonna teach you about the sky daddy that's coming to save you. No, that's an illusion they gave you. The legion is actually a family, a bloodline. So now they're creating another legion under the guise of religion. That's why all those churches, they have to have a 501c3, where the government have to make sure they have control, and all the offering that they collect, $1 billion every single week. I'm not talking about $1 million. $1 billion every single week. And all the churches across the United States have to pay their homage to Rome, the Vatican. They have to pay England, because they're all part of the legion. That's why in all our rundown neighborhoods, the two things that you have is liquor stores and churches. And the pastors, they're not doing anything to help out the community, because guess what? It is not part of their contract. Okay? It is not part of that oath that they took. Even when I went to Memphis and built with the chief on the land, all right? Let me tell y'all something. In Memphis alone, they got over 5,000 churches, and the churches are not supporting the farmers. Okay? So the farmers cannot sell their food. So therefore, they cannot pay their land taxes, and now the government is trying to take it. But the churches could come and help, and they're not helping. So let me ask you a question. What does these churches have to do with the Sky Daddy? Nothing. It's an organization that was set up to destroy our people. Churches were used as a tool to capture slaves. Man. You feel me? All right. What else we have? We are so hard. Yes, our people are hard-headed. Our people are really hard-headed. All right. But it's okay though. It's all right. You know why I say it's okay? Not that it's okay that our people are hard-headed. It's okay because Once we keep on doing what we are doing, let us keep on putting the truth out there. Let us keep planting those seeds. We're not going to allow them to play the games with us. These churches are corrupt, yes. It's pretty much the 501c3 churches, they are corrupt. Okay, because to have a church, you don't have to have a 501c3, but they have to do that so that they could be in bed. They have to pledge allegiance to the founders of their churches, all right, which is Rome. You feel me? Well, they are brainwashed. I'm not manifesting that for myself. Okay, I'm not brainwashed. So yes, the majority of them are brainwashed, but I'm not. I'm enlightened. I know the truth. No, don't get me wrong. I don't know everything. I don't know everything, but I know enough to know that what we were taught was a lie. Okay? For real. And that's what it is. It's all good, Latrice. You know what I mean? That's what we do, man. That's what this platform is about. All right. And like I said, in about a little over 2 hours, we got the matriarch build. So I'm about to conclude this. I had a great time. For those of you who still want to support, you could hit the super chat. Also, my Cash App is in the link below. By all means, feel free to support. It's very much appreciated. So thank you in advance. All right. I'm about to shut this down. All the links are below. So please do your due diligence. I just got to add one more link, the one from the History Channel, which I have in many other links. But I'm going to do it again because, like I said, repetition is the key. We have to continuously see in those things. You guys are absolutely welcome. And no, thank you. Thank you for tuning in, because you could have been doing anything else. You could have been watching anything else. All right. So the mere fact that you guys are on here, all right, and willing to come back at 7 p.m. again, it means that you are seeking truth. All right. It means that you're on a frequency that many others are not. And it is contagious. All right. So later this evening, we're going to have a great build with the sisters. All right. And like I said, this is what it's about. You're absolutely right, Onyx Summer Rising. The churches are whoring themselves. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Okay. Rome is the mother. Rome is the mother. And she is, she's prostituting her daughters, which is the churches. So y'all better recognize what's going on. All right. That's what it's all about. You feel me? And Chief Strongbeer, it's all good. All right. Much love and respect. You know what I'm saying? And I just want y'all to know, man, we spiritual family. You feel me? The vibe is real. Let us continue to build. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to put that truth out there. We're going to continue to unite. I say this, and that's just for me. I could only speak for myself. If you're going to take me out telling the truth. If you're going to take me out knowing that I walked in truth. You feel me? And that's what it's about. Because I know once I go home, the ancestors are going to say, hey, son, man, listen, we got some champagne. Let's turn up. Now, that's the real turn up. You know what I'm saying? That's the real turn up. Now, I don't smoke weed, but I'm going to tell you, when I'm chilling with the ancestors and they say, welcome home, son, and they got this, puff, puff, pass, like, Chief, you want to put, oh, shit, man, listen, let's get it on. Let's get it on. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, I'm just having fun, man. I love doing this. It's my passion. It's my purpose. And once again, guys, do me a favor. I like to give shout out to, and anybody else, if you have anything you want me to shout out, you have a product, you have a service, man, I don't mind shouting you out. Okay, like I said, I'm not selfish. This is about us. So go check out, Max V Productions. That's MACKSV Productions. Look him up on YouTube. Look him up on Instagram. Also, our sister Lovely. That's LUV hyphen LEA. One Love, and One Love is ONELOV. All right. Check her YouTube out and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? She has great music that she's also putting out. Definitely. So again, man, like I said, man, let's support each other, man. That's what I'm about. All right. It's time that we start supporting each other, coming together, and making this happen. All right. So I wanna say thank you to all our moderators of the channel, for keeping things in order. I appreciate that. And thank you to each and every one of you guys for supporting the super chat. All right. I'll see you guys at 7 p.m. Once again, quick reminder for those of you that would like to be part of the matriarch build at 7. I know we're going to have a great time. All right. Oh, you appreciate it, my brother Max V Productions. You appreciate it. All right. From Jamaica Chief, listen all the time. One love, David Cross, man. Listen, my Taino brother in Jamaica, my Arawak brother. You know what I mean? All of the same thing. Don't forget, the Maroons are actually Taino and Arawak. Don't let them fool you. They're not from Africa because, like I said before, no Africans could come on any American soil and have their own government. It's not going to happen. But yes, still the Maroons got their own government. What does that tell you? They are the original people of the land. The Arawaks, all Tainos, the same thing. So my brother David, Cross from Jamaica, big up yourself. You know what I mean? Respect every time. You know how things done go already. You feel me? All right. So that's what it's about. You know what I mean? So I'm going to see you guys at 7 p.m. Tune in. My sister Aaliyah, if you want to be part of the build, let me know. Send me an email. Sister Lovely, if you want to be part of the build, send me an email. I'm just saying, all right? Let me know if y'all want to be a part of the build because we got to reach out to our younger sisters, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to reach out to our younger sisters and get them on the right track. We got to, all right? So once again, give thanks to the Great Spirit. Give thanks to our ancestors for this opportunity. And I love y'all. We will talk at 7 p.m. We'll be on live, all right? 1.